We back. I'm back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever part of the day you choose to reach you. I hope you're feeling fine, I hope you're feeling well, I hope you're feeling blessed. I hope you realize that you are blessed. You got to see a day that somebody else didn't get to see. So, relish in that fact. It is I, your humble host, Mr. Vaughn P, aka the Political Crash Out. Oh, shit, excuse me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I really don't even feel like being on live right now today, but I got to show up. I have to show up. That's why I didn't even type a bunch of shit. I still got a list of shit that I want to touch on today. But all in all, politics has been slow as fuck lately. We've seen Trump continue to dominate the news stream with all his fuckery. When it comes to local politics in the state of Florida, we have not had a lot going on, but there's still shit going on. When I say it's slow, I don't mean there's not nothing going on. It means nothing sensationalized, nothing headline snatching or grabbing, demanding of your attention, besides continued immigration shit. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and dive straight into one of the first things I want to talk about today is this new immigration policy that's going to fuck up the game when it comes to individuals trying to get green cards in the United States of America. The U.S. Custom and Immigration Services has issued a green card update for individuals that try to get their green cards by way of marriage. In some countries, it is commonplace to seek out and marry a United States citizen in an effort to get U.S. citizenship. Because if you are unaware, marrying a U.S. citizen is one of the fastest ways to gain U.S. citizenship. And it used to be very, 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 very wide known that you could just pay somebody a couple dollars and then say, I do. And then you get U.S. citizenship. Those situations are in danger now. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Services says they are owning you motherfuckers now. They are owning y'all that are trying to get married to get these papers, and they're not going for it no more. I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I want to crash out, but I originally didn't feel like crashing out. But as I talk about this shit, I start to bubble. It starts to bubble up inside because there's a lot of immigrants that voted for Trump. It's a lot of immigrants that use this very fucking process to get citizenship, and now it's in danger. I don't think people in America understand that sometimes you gotta just believe motherfucker when they show you your true colors. We get in the situation where people will hear things and they be like, oh, no, nah, they ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. A lot of people said pre-election that Trump was not going to do things to impact, immigrants. This man was saying out his mouth he's going to do. Oh, but he's going for the immigrants. He's going to go for the criminals. I seen a post. A news talked about Alligator Alcatraz earlier today, saying how this is going to be a new model that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security wants to model to get immigrants out of the country because it gives them an opportunity to house those criminals that they've been capturing and then seamlessly deport them. And I couldn't help but think, I was like, but most of the people in Alligator Alcatraz aren't criminals. They're regular farm workers. They are restaurant workers. They are housekeepers. They are motherfuckers that was going through the nationalization immigration process to get citizenship and got arrested at their court date because they were going to not their court date. They got arrested at their immigration interviews because they were going in to check in, following the process, and now they're getting deported. And but since America is so emotionally driven, people aren't going to look at who is getting deported. They're only looking at the number of people getting deported. They don't give a fuck that these are real people with lives that drop their kid out to school and say, hey, I'll pick you up. I just got to go to the immigration office, do my monthly meeting. And now the kid didn't get picked up from school because Pops went to go to his monthly immigration meeting. And now he's going back to El Salvador or Haiti or Cuba or wherever the fuck they're from. These are the situations that are happening. And now anybody that had thought they was going to get married to get some paperwork, that shit is out the door. That shit is out the fucking door now. Not only that, there's been a change that we're going to see soon. Oh. Excuse me. U.S. could require up to $15,000 bonds for some tourist visas under pilot program. There are some individuals that come to America and they overstay their visas. Elon Musk. This is designed for those individuals. We're going to see a lot of changes. A lot of changes. Here's some of the key points. Pilot program targets countries with high visa overstay rates. Like I told you, this is targeting those people that come over on various visas. Now, keep in mind, visas have already been restricted for certain countries. And now we're having changes to the visa program in America. So if you overstay your overstay your visa, they're going to keep your fucking deposit. They're going to keep at best to make you pay a security deposit to come to America now. If you come from a country with high overstay rates. Which is fucking insane, B. Fucking insane. Give me a minute, chat. All right, so not only I was saying changes to the marriage process, but I was saying changes to the visa process. We're heading towards a situation where America's going to put itself in a corner with the rest of the world, or back itself in the corner when the rest of the world's not going to fuck with us. We're putting ourselves in a situation in America where we're going to fall behind faster than we already are due to some of these draconian policies that are getting put in place. All because motherfuckers say, hey, my life is better under Trump. Stupid bitch. I didn't do no prep for this episode, y'all. I'll be honest. Like, I've been feeling a little hazy today. And I said I wasn't going to do it. But then throughout the last couple of days, I've been taking all these damn notes. And I'm like, man, what the fuck I took these notes for? And so sometimes in life, you have to push through those feelings. take a side note here. I've been on this journey to become a whole, what I call a 360 man, where I experience all my emotions and I recognize everything and I touch on everything. And I just don't really shy away from the shit. Sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes that shit gets heavy as fuck, y'all. Trying to make sure that you process and focus and experience your emotions and not try and bury shit, communicate with individuals, be a fucking father, be like it's oh shit. Just saying that just seemed it wasn't like a lot, but fuck. And the nature of my job, the job that pays me, dealing with people's life can be heavy as fuck, y'all. Like, to be honest with you, I make decisions that impact people's life on a daily fucking basis. And sometimes it's not a good impact. And that shit weighs on you sometimes. And then you be focusing on the politics and the news and shit, and whew, fuck. Shout out to therapy. Shout out to therapy. Shout out to therapy. What do I want to touch on? Because had I prepared, I would have built some segues in, I would have stacked my topics to where I could segue into other stuff. Right now, this whole stream, I'm gonna be jumping around this whole fucking show. I'll just be honest with y'all. Right now, I didn't build no segues in this shit. I didn't prepare this. I didn't have shit. Like, I tell myself, if I don't just do it, I'm not gonna do it. Because I was trying to prep for it and I was hitting the mental block. And I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it without the prep. Not like I've ever done the stream without the prep before, but not this much material. Like I probably should have segued it, but fuck it. Fuck it. Speaking of fuck it. Fuck, let's dive in this. I'm gonna go heavy Trump. I'm just gonna go to the Trump section and let's go heavy Trump. Where we at? Reuters. Have y'all seen this shit right here? Ah. We got, god damn, nobody told y'all telling people my whole government name. I'm mad seeing there and got like all this shit like this, man. What the fuck? All right, so we got those running around cutting programs out of the government, calling it waste and inefficient left and right. We have Medicaid, housing, public school programs, after school programs, all type of educational programs being cut because they're saying, hey, we can't afford to keep spending and wasting all this damn money on these programs. But we can afford to spend $200 million on a Trump ballroom. And the workaround that they're saying is they're trying to say that Trump donors are going to be the ones that mainly support and fund this project. I don't know who they think is believing that dumbass shit, but if you can find enough donors to donate money to build you a ballroom at the White House as a legacy project, why can't you find donors to try and help the schools? Float medic, like none of the fucking initiatives that Trump has done is gonna make your life better. Nothing he's done is an idea of making America great again. Nothing in this ballroom project is going to benefit everyday Americans. Besides probably the everyday Americans that are going to work to build it. But even still, whoever gets that contract most likely is in bed with Trump or somebody that Trump knows very well. We see shit like this happen, and people just be like, "Oh man, you're gonna build a ballroom," but then look past how much the ballroom costs. Look past how much taxpayer money goes into this type of shit, and how much, how many programs have been cut already due to inefficiency. This type of shit is disgusting. But this type of shit happens because people just sit there and say, "Oh, you know, well, no Trump, man, he gonna be like." We humorize this type of shit. And oh wow, you look around, you got businesses closing. Like, I don't give a damn where you live in America. You can go any community in America right now, from Parkland to Park Lakes to the Coral Springs to South Beach to Fort Lauderdale to Raleigh to anywhere in America. You have businesses that are fucking closing left and right that were open last year. Why is that? The economy is fucked. People are losing jobs. Job numbers just came out. Donald Trump wants to, matter of fact, great segue. I built a segue into it. Like, Trump just fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics director. I ain't giving y'all no damn money. Trump just fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics director, stating that he wants to put somebody in there that's his own people. Come on, man. We're not doing all that, CNN. Don't all that goddamn shit. Ask me no more fucking more. Trump just fired the Bureau of Labor Statistics director, stating that she's an Biden appointee, and she's putting bad numbers out there to make him look bad. Every economist in the world said this was going to happen once Trump started to put those tariffs and economic policies in place. We're going to see inflation start to increase, which it has. We're going to start to see businesses start to shutter and close, which they have. We're going to start to see people lose their jobs because businesses that are staying open are now having to make tough decisions whether or not to cut hours or cut whole people. So you got people that are in the unlucky position to be business owners that are firing people or cutting their whole team's hours just so they can stay open. And some of them are just fucking closing. CNN I told y'all I don't want no motherfucking shit. No. The jobs numbers came out and we had 67,000 or something like that jobs added this last month. And then May and June were revised downward. The first quarter of this year, we showed a declining economic activity. We showed our GDP was declining. The second quarter numbers haven't been finalized yet, but please understand that if the second quarter numbers show an economic decline in the United States of America, as you watch this stream right now, we are sitting in a recession due to Donald Trump's economic policies. So remember where you heard it first. Because they're not going to start talking about that nasty R word for at least another couple of weeks. But understand that if that second quarter data comes out and we show 2 consecutive quarters of declining economic progress, well, not progress, we show economic data, our economic fucking shit. I'll tell y'all what the shit there. If our economic standing is declining 2 fucking quarters in a row, that is a recession. No matter what anybody tells you, They can't draft. They can't fucking do anything to fucking make that shit look pretty. It is a recession. A fucking recession. Yo. Did you see them trying to rezone Texas? Yes, and they've also actually just no. Sometimes you gotta know how to do it. This is a great one. Will Texas be gerrymandered as California is? Yes, I have seen that, Jordan. Thank you for bringing that up, my boy. Right now, Texas, you got some Texas lawmakers that are trying to redraw Texas congressional maps to gain 5 additional seats. Why is that important? Next year, the fuck was that?
Democrats are in full freak-out mode over Texas' proposal for a new congressional map. If it passed, the map would create 5 districts.
Well, fuck it. Let's watch y'all little shit. I just told y'all it was going to try and draw 5 districts.
And help the GOP retain. Democrats are in full freak-out mode over Texas' proposal for a new congressional map. If it passed, the map would create 5 districts Trump carried by double digits in 2024 and help the GOP retain their House majority. It makes areas in the Rio Grande Valley redder, packs Democrat-controlled districts, making them bluer, and creates new Republican-leaning districts elsewhere. So
as I was alluding to, when they do this type of thing, it makes the Republican Party stronger and the Democratic Party weaker. But the bigger picture is next year, the midterm elections are going to be crucial because all this shit that Trump is doing, the economy's fucked up. People are losing their jobs, people losing their businesses, people losing their healthcare, people losing their fucking minds, all because of Trump's policies. If they can water down the Democratic districts and create more Republican districts, they give themselves a better chance of keeping Republican control of Congress. California's already been gerrymandered like this. Texas is going through this process now. As my boy Rick said, they have now, the Texas Democrats walked out of Congress, just left the fucking place, just left. They don't have quorum. Those that don't know, quorum is when you have enough people to actually do government business. You have to have a set number of individuals at that meeting, at that conference, at that workshop, at that whatever you want to fucking call it, to be able to conduct government business. It's called quorum. If you don't have a quorum, you cannot conduct government business. Democrats know that. Democrats left. They don't have quorum. They don't have quorum. They cannot conduct government business. They cannot go ahead with this new congressional map. So as a result of that, they issued civil arrest warrants for a lot of the Democrats to try and get them back. This ain't like a criminal arrest warrant where they're going to put them in jail. Just gives them bullshit fine and says, "Hey, you got like it's a song and dance. It's a fucking song and dance because the average person is going to hear Democrats got arrest warrants issued for them and just run with that shit. And it tries to make the Democrats look like they did something wrong when they're just trying to do something to save the people. This is also a perfect example of what I like to refer to as the long game. Republicans play the long game. They're thinking about next year's election. What do we need to do right now to give us a better chance of winning next year's elections. Oh, we can rig the map, but we got to do it now, so that as long as we do it now and not in the time of the election year, people won't remember and won't think about it, and we can get away with that shit. It's part of the reason why I started doing this type of shit, y'all. Let's see what else they got to say.
Oh, amidst all the freak out, let's take a look at some of the examples of Democrats gerrymandering. Let's head over to the wall.
Ooh,
First up, let's take a look at Maryland. In 2016, Republicans won 37% of statewide votes for the U.S. House in Maryland, but they only got 1 out of 8 seats because of the way the congressional districts are drawn in Maryland. Maryland's not the only one. It also has occurred in California.
Make no note, there's not an issue with the way these maps were drawn. They were mad that these people basically were not popular in that area. So they want to redraw the maps to benefit those little red dot areas that they were talking about. Because you may be popular in your little city, but when you go to your county level, you may not be popular at the county level. So they want to draw the maps to kind of carve up the county to where the people in those couple cities get more of a vote, more a bigger say so, if that makes sense. Sons of bitches. You know, speaking of Fox News, since we're on Fox News, I want to bring up something. Let's talk about this fucking gerrymandering shit too much more, because they're gonna piss me off. Fox News host Jeanine, what the fuck is this bitch name? Jeanine Pirro. You know, she's a lawyer. I give it to her. She is a lawyer, but she's confirmed as a U.S. District Attorney for Washington, D.C. The former Fox News host, whose false statements about the 2020 election were part of a lawsuit against the network, had been serving in the role on a temporary basis. A motherfucker that pushed election lies is now a fucking judge in America. Her co-host is the Secretary of Defense. What happened to this merit-based society that Trump said we was going to put forward? I'm not seeing any fucking merits. Because, well, we're also, the reason why I talked about Jeanine Pirro is because there's now a rumor saying Democrats y'all notice how I do this? I just go ahead and Google's my best fucking friend. Google Analytics, if you listening and paying attention, y'all need to give me a fucking brand deal or something. Because I use Google and Microsoft like a motherfucker. But Democratic senators negotiated for release of billions in funds in exchange for confirmation deals, sources say. Because when I saw Jeanine Pirro get confirmed on Friday, I was in shock because I said, how in the fuck did that happen? What in the, like, what the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? What the helion? What the hell? All that shit. And I couldn't, for the life of me, I could not understand how she got confirmed. There are so many confirmations that are getting slow walked and held up because they're just not qualified. And like Democrats have been playing hardball with it. But to hear this, I was a little disturbed because the billions in aid that they're talking about getting released is not for Americans. So this is a fumble by the Democrats. If this shit is true, and you motherfuckers went into them backdoor rooms and negotiated billions in aid for foreign countries and foreign aid programs and AIDS relief in West bumfuck, but we got a housing crisis in America, inflation increasing left fucking right. People are losing their jobs and businesses. But these motherfuckers went and negotiated billions in funds for fucking different aid programs. Now I will give them credit for this. $5 billion for the National Institutes of Health, but we got $1 billion for the Global Fund, $300 million for World Food Program, $50 million to fight HIV in developing countries, about $140 million for the United Nations Children's Fund. Another fund has been approved, had been previously approved. Look, my G, if we gonna fucking sit down at the table, if the Democrats gonna sit down at the table and negotiate for the money or things or whatever the fuck they're gonna negotiate for the best interest of the American people. Don't go negotiating for HIV in developing countries. And I know how I'm sounding right now, but I don't give a damn because I live in America. I don't live in a developing country. And if I'm going to watch my elected officials go and negotiate terms, I want those terms to benefit the American people, not developing countries. Especially in the time where we're in right now, where we got all type of fuckery going on. Full disclosure, I'm the son of an immigrant. And I am not deaf or blind to the plight of developing countries. But right now, I'm focused on America and Americans. So when I read this, I was like, this is how this bitch got through. Secondly, Democrats, you're fumbling. You're fucking fumbling. You're fumbling. Not only are you being tone deaf and not paying attention to your rising stars in your own party, you're being blind as to what's going on and who can really impact from your negotiations. Because the people in those third world developing countries are not going to be the ones voting for you. It's people here in America that are going to vote for you. And if they can't afford nothing to eat or a place to live, the fuck you think they're going to vote for you for? This is fumbling bad, man. It's fumbling bad. It's back to school time. Excuse me. We've seen a number of price hikes due to these tariffs. The one thing, this is what I wanted. There's a lot of shit in America that people don't realize comes from different countries. I want you to look at this chart. Don't worry about trade balance and all that shit. Look at the rate announced in April and the new rates. Some like Brazil, some of these things are just fucking ridiculous. The most important thing that you need to know is that Most of your computers and electronic goods are going to get more expensive because of these tariffs. We've seen prices of school supplies across the board get more expensive. Amazon. I said they're going to increase prices. How did that jump down so far? If you said stores and companies like Amazon starting to feel the fucking pain of the tariffs, what do you think does that mean for the average everyday American? Like seriously, Trump is told people left and right, all the tariffs ain't gonna impact. Oh, the other countries pay tariffs, other countries pay tariffs, other countries pay tariffs. Now we're starting to see big companies get fucking negatively impacted by this stuff. Not only that, let's go back to Google. We're losing jobs, y'all. Not just the director of the BLS. What's happening is that these tariffs, what happens with tariffs is that it's not played out how Trump lied to y'all and said this. It says the other countries are going to pay. And they even get crafted with the way they talk about it now. Say, oh, well, the tariffs that the other countries pay to the United States. No, it's the tariffs on the goods from those countries that the United States importers pays to get those goods here. Now, if it's something that the suppliers could readily get in the United States of America, it could be used as a way to force them to shop here locally, domestically. But the reality is that we don't have a lot of the shit that is imported into the United States. We don't have the infrastructure or the factories set up to produce a lot of the shit that we import here into the United States. So we're going to keep importing shit into the United States of America. As long as we import shit into the United States of America, these tariffs are going to be paid by us. As long as these tariffs are paid by us, those importers are going to raise their prices. Because those importers are going to raise their prices on how much they sell it to the distributors are going to start to raise their prices on how much they sell it to the stores. And when the stores have to pay more to get it from the distributor, who you think is going to end up ultimately paying more? Us. Not only that, because the stores cannot afford to get the same quantities of inventory that they had been getting, they're making tough decisions. They're having to fire people. They're having to cut their whole staff team hours back. They're having to make hard decisions. And maybe because I've worked in social services and government my entire career, and I've made a career out of telling people fucked up shit. And it's not it like, even in my personal life, I have to be mindful when I'm talking to my daughter, because I've gotten comfortable saying fucked up shit to people. Not disrespectful shit, but when you tell a motherfucker they can't get these services, or nah, we ain't doing this, and I've made a career of giving bad news to people. So I know I'm numb to it. So when I see this type of stuff, I just know the masses are not as numb to this shit as me. And when you're an employer, you have to fire people, it's not a good feeling. It's really not. When you're an employer, you have to tell your team that you know is counting on every last fucking hour. You got a couple people that are coming to you one-on-one asking for overtime. And you got to go to the whole team now and tell them, hey, I got to cut everybody's hours by like an hour or two. Or either I got to pick somebody and fire somebody. so that we can make our monthly overhead. It's not a good feeling. I've been hiring and firing people since I was 18 years old. I'm 41 years old. And it never gets easy to find somebody. Never. Granted, I've gotten numb to giving, bad news. Like that's just I'm straight numb to that shit. I say some fucked up shit to you, not even blink. But firing somebody, that shit is heavy. That's some heavy shit. You got some businesses that are thinking about closing down. One of the things I've been noticing is with these Instagram food chefs that may have a food truck or a little, they sell food out of the kitchen. A lot of these people, they're going on these tours. They're going on these tours. And it's not, I don't think they're going on tour because they popular. I think they're going to different cities and trying to get that money. They're going to the money. And I applaud that because they're trying to figure it out in a time where we're seeing restaurants in their city get shut down. So they're taking this show on the road. And I applaud that. That no matter how fucked up people say that man's barbecue oxtails is, you always see Lee's barbecue somewhere in the United States going to get that money. Because as we see in our communities, I don't care what city you in, where are you looking at this from? You can name at least 2 or 3 restaurants that are closed today that were open last year. I don't know how the fuck they popping up Raising Cane's every damn well, but mom and pop's restaurants are getting shut the fuck down. We're seeing industries lose money left and right. Amazon losing fucking money. They ain't make their fucking forecast. They ain't make their predictions. When Amazon ain't making their financial predictions, what does that tell you? And it's all because people are having to pay more on their cost of living. People are having to pay more for rent and mortgages. People are having to pay more for gas. People are having to pay more for their groceries. People are having to pay more for different types of services. I don't know if you looked at cable lately. Like basic cable could run you about $200. Well, not basic. Basic cable with like internet and maybe phone service. That shit might cost you about $200 a month. And then you ain't even getting no real channels. Don't be one of the people that want Stars and Cinemax and HBO and all them different fucking channels. You might be looking at $400-500 a month for cable. And never mind these streaming services where they trying to nickel and dime you. Everybody's got a streaming service. Why does Paramount have a streaming service? Why does MGM Plus got a streaming service? Why does Apple got a streaming service? Why does Netflix started this shit out, but when Disney took all their movies off of Netflix and said we're gonna do it ourselves, we started seeing the major movies start doing the same shit. Now Netflix is out there doing their own. That's why Netflix has started producing their own movies. All these individual companies started to say, "Hey, we're gonna nickel and dime America too." America's being nickel and dime to the point where people don't have money. The black unemployment rate is up under Trump. All you Negroes that voted for Trump, it went up. It went up. Right now on your motherfucking screen. Right there on your motherfucking screen. The black unemployment rate has been steadily going up. For everybody that wanted to tell me that all these things that Trump did by executive orders to weaken the protections that were granted to black people by the civil rights and all these different other decrees and acts and laws, they just got wiped out by the stroke of a fucking pen under Trump. I said if the United States government was no longer going to. I told you, I'm about. I'll be getting caught. I'll be in the garage. It'll be real life out here. Sometimes people catch me off guard, and my neighbors. My neighbors, they know what time it is, but people that just roll through the neighborhood, they don't know how dangerous that shit is. They don't know how dangerous it is slowing down in front of my motherfucking house. Especially I don't know you. But roll it back. When we seen Donald Trump roll back a bunch of the civil rights protections, people didn't understand what was going on. I said that this was going to make it hard for black people to get a job. This is going to make it harder for black people to get a fair shot. This is going to make it harder for black people across the fucking board. And as you can see in the numbers, the black unemployment rate steadily increased from May to now. It fluctuated. It went from 6.2 to 6.3 from March to April. And then it dropped down to 6% in May. But then the summer hit. The summer hit. The tariff started to impact us. Employers had to start making those tough decisions. Who am I going to let go? Who hours am I going to cut? Who am I going to put on salary? Who am I going to keep hourly? Who am I going to do this? Who am I going to do that? That summer hit. And we've seen the black unemployment rate jump from 6% to 6.8. And now it's at 7.2. But hey, Trump rolling back all those executive orders had nothing to do with it. I guess people didn't see the correlation between the thought process that the federal government is not going to not discriminate and not play fair. I guess we just leave it up to America to play fair and not discriminate. But as I said then, I'll say now, employers and businesses and people, they take their lead from the federal government. So when we saw the federal government remove protections and opportunities for black individuals, what the fuck did you think the rest of the United States was going to do? Young men out here don't got no employable skills. We're going to see that rate get higher. Remember where you heard it first, and this is not, I hate to be the one that says, my homegirl told me shit like, you always got to be the one that says something. It's a gift and a curse, dog. It's a gift and a fucking curse. Vision is a motherfucker. Vision is a motherfucker. When you see things that you know other people don't see, you try and let them know what you see. And too many times, my initial statement gets met with something negative, something, not in agreement. But then they circle back like, dang, man, I see what you're talking about now. And I never get apologies either. Nobody, like people, when it comes to me, people sit there trying to circle back to me like it never happened. It's like they was always in agreement. And I'm such a gracious individual. I rarely be like, well, I told you so. We'll start fucking with you bitches. Like, yeah, remember when I told you this, bitch? But we seen Donald Trump roll back those protections, and fast forward 6-7 months later, black unemployment is the highest it's been since 2021, coming out of the pandemic. Black unemployment is the highest levels that we've seen since the pandemic, y'all. But when I said Donald Trump rolling back all these historic civil rights protections is going to impact us, y'all told me, no, it ain't. Nah, man, I ain't got it. We gonna be good. We gonna be good. Niggas kept line dancing. Unemployment's through the fucking roof. But hey, my life is better under Trump. Speaking of this unemployment stuff, one thing that is leading to this these increased unemployment rates, automation. Automation and AI is fucking the game up. Next time you go into Walmart, a fast food store, anywhere you go, because it's starting to pop up anywhere that you go that has those self-checkout kiosks, don't fucking use them. Do not use the self-checkout kiosks. First and foremost, employees of those stores, they get employee discounts for working there. I don't get an employee discount for working there and checking myself out and performing the actions of a cashier, because they pay cashiers to perform that action that they want me to do. The only difference is that cashier gets a paycheck and an employee discount. I don't get a paycheck nor an employee discount. So I'm not motherfucking going through no automated self-checkout lines at any fucking place I go to. I'm just not doing it. I'm not gonna steal and give myself an employee discount, because then that's stealing, that's thievery. I go to jail for that. I got shit to lose at this point in my life. But I don't fucking work for y'all, so I'm not fucking scanning my own shit and bagging my own groceries or shit at Walmart, wherever the fuck I go. It's not happening. Secondly, the more those automated kiosks or those AI bots and that shit gets used and grows and starts to get utilized, the less they have a use for human beings. Meaning the unemployment rate is going to go up. And when we look at the industries where we see a lot of these self-checkout kiosks, those aren't high-paying industries. Those are mainly entry-level and I don't say maintenance-level jobs, but jobs meant to, help people get by. Who are those jobs mainly impacting? Black and brown people, poor whites, immigrants. And when we see those jobs disappear, who was that job loss going to impact the most? Black and brown people, poor whites, immigrants. But we get drawn into that shit. Oh my God, it's a self-checkout. I'm not working here. I don't work for y'all, but I work for the government. I deal with enough stress there. Now I gotta come in the store and scan my own shit, bag my own shit, and I gotta pay y'all full price? Are you fucking crazy? I do not use self-checkout kiosks nowhere I go. Got so good at it that my daughter, who was in the store, was in Carolina. And I had took her and my other little cousins to the store. No, we went to a restaurant, a little fast food spot. And where were we at? Who was that cookout? They had one of them little kiosk things, and then they had, you can wait for the person to come to the window and you push your order in. One of the little youngins that was with us ran up to that little kiosk and started. Daddy said, we don't work here. My daddy said, we don't work at places like that. We don't work here. She told him before I could tell her. Like, look, we don't work here. We're not doing that. We don't use that. I don't get a discount. I don't get a paycheck. And furthermore, I understand that, like I said before, the more these machines get popularized, the less they're going to have use for a person. Another thing that crept into us that we didn't notice, think about your garbage trucks. When we were growing up, the garbage crew consisted normally of about 2 to 3 individuals on that garbage truck. You had the driver, and you had 1 to 2 people that were hanging on the back of the garbage truck and getting off, going to pick up the garbage cans, dump in the back of the garbage truck, put your cans back. And that was how we grew up seeing garbage men operate. Think about how your garbage man operates now. Most garbage trucks are a one-man crew because they have that little automated arm that shoots up from the side of the garbage truck, grabs your can, pushes it up, dumps it, puts your can back down, put it to the side, arm slides back, garbage man drives around the corner. Does all around down the street. So now, waste management or garbage trucks, they only have to employ one person where they used to have to employ 3. Now you see how those creepy little things that has little creepy automation shit backdoors us. When a lot of AI is designed or sold to us as making our life easier and making things more seamless and just fun, or putting some ease of use to it. But nobody pays attention to how many people lose their job because of automation every day. That's just the harsh reality of it. Somebody looked at earlier today when garbage man was making this run. There, you don't see the days where they got the garbage man just walk down the street picking up trash cans no more. They're in the air conditioned truck, drive around. Even the boat pickup guys. Boat pickup ain't sending people around to pick it up. Boat pickup is sending one dude on that special garbage truck with the fucking big ass crane claw that come around and oh yeah, it's way more efficient. Yeah, it's more efficient for our pay books too. Our paychecks, our revenue cycle, our profit models too. It's way more efficient for the profits. They cut down. And sometimes they don't even do it egregiously where they just start firing people. They just wait for somebody to retire. And they say, well, you know what? We're just not going to hire. We're not going to fill that position. Because there's a lot of open positions right now in America. A whole lot. They're just not going to hire. They don't have the money to hire. Because a lot of shit's going on. All right, so I told y'all I'm going to give y'all about an hour. It's 57 minutes. Touched on just about everything I wanted to touch on, except for one thing. And it's something that been a little out of my wheelhouse. It's something that's been out of my wheelhouse because I told some of the Gaza supporters, y'all voted for this shit. So I just kind of left it alone. But I'd be remiss if I didn't point this out because we have a lot of people that are tuned into the war and don't understand that there's a lot of Israelis that don't want this war going on still. When we talk about the Israel and Gaza war, we're really talking about a conflict between Benjamin Netanyahu and Hamas. Hundreds of thousands of Israeli ex-officials appealed to Trump to help end Gaza war. That's after thousands of Israelis went to the streets and protested over the weekend. If you missed it, Hamas showed a video of some of the surviving Israeli hostages. And that prompted thousands of Israeli citizens in Israel to go out there and protest. They said, we want our family back and we want this war done. They've been wanting it done. There's a lot of individuals in Israel that never supported this conflict to begin with. So I want to make that distinction because I did think this part was this stinking a lot of attention. So I wanted to give a little bit of space to it to let it breathe a little bit because, as I said before, this is a conflict that goes back hundreds of years. The U.S. didn't start it. I don't think the U.S. can end it. But we also got to take time to make sure that we recognize there are individuals that did not want this to go down. There are individuals that actually wanted to stop. and they're Israelis. They're Israeli. They're Israeli citizens. Well, how the fuck you say that shit? I don't get that. But we gotta give life to both sides. We gotta be real about both sides of this. There have been loss of life on both sides. And I'm not picking a side here, so don't think this is gonna be some Israel bashing shit or some Hamas or some Gaza support shit. We in America got our own issues, but they got some issues that they've been fucking fighting for fucking hundreds of years. This is probably the only last time I even touch on this shit too. I really don't give a damn about the Israeli and Gaza conflict because of what we got going on here. But just wanted to remind y'all, there are some Israeli citizens that don't want this war. All right, that's an hour and a minute, chat. I did it. Allow this stream today be a reminder to y'all to show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. I said when I started this stream, I did not want to do this shit thing. I just didn't have it in me. Mentally, emotionally, physically, there's nothing wrong with me. Just mentally and emotionally, I just was not in it. Started out my Monday, jam-packed work. I wasn't feeling this shit there. I was like, Then I kept looking at my list, and I would put shit on my list. I don't feel like doing this. And I didn't feel like doing this, and I didn't touch on everything that was on the list too. I didn't build it out. I didn't build my segues into no research. As y'all can see with the whole bunch of Google searches. No, I just cycled through pages, but ended up my prep. I literally told myself, if I don't get here, sit down in this motherfucking chair and hit live, I ain't gonna go live. But I sat down and I showed up. So allow this to be a reminder to you to show up for yourself. No matter how you feeling, show up for yourself. Mentally, emotionally, physically, however the fuck you feeling, show up for yourself. Like Nike said, just do it.